It was supposed to be just another day in court, until a powerful judge made one arrogant mistake, and minutes later, he was the one being dragged out in handcuffs. You've seen judges hand down justice, but today, you're going to witness the moment when justice turned on the judge himself. Gasps filled the courtroom. "Order in the court!" The gavel slammed down, but what followed stunned everyone into silence. It was supposed to be a routine hearing at the federal courthouse in San Francisco. Former Florida Attorney General Pam Bondi had been invited to testify as part of a special committee reviewing federal overreach. But what no one expected was the sheer arrogance displayed by one man, Judge Edward Chen. Known in legal circles for his strict rulings and sharp tongue, Judge Chen had a reputation. But today, he went too far. As Bondi calmly presented her case, citing legal precedents and defending constitutional boundaries, Judge Chen leaned forward, a smug smile spreading across his face. "Ms. Bondi, maybe you should stick to political TV shows," he said, loud enough for the courtroom to hear. "This isn't Florida. This is real law." Pam Bondi paused, visibly stunned but composed. She stared directly at the judge. "With all due respect, Your Honor, I came here in good faith to represent the interests of millions of Americans, not to be insulted." Judge Chen waved his hand dismissively. "Spare me the drama." The insult wasn't just personal. It was political, public, and deeply inappropriate. But no one expected what would happen next. Unknown to Judge Chen, something had been brewing behind the scenes for months. A sealed federal investigation had been quietly targeting corruption in the judiciary, and Edward Chen's name was on the list. Just moments after his public humiliation of Bondi, the courtroom doors opened. A group of U.S. Marshals stepped inside, eyes locked on the bench. The murmurs started immediately. Cameras clicked. Pam Bondi looked confused, then surprised. "Judge Edward Chen," one of the marshals announced firmly, "you are under arrest for obstruction of justice, abuse of power, and accepting illicit financial favors." The courtroom froze. Chen's face turned pale. "This is absurd! I'm a federal judge!" But the marshals weren't there for debate. Within seconds, Chen was surrounded, his robe pulled off, and his hands cuffed in front of a courtroom full of stunned lawyers, reporters, and citizens. "Pam Bondi?" She remained silent, her expression unreadable, but many would later say the look in her eyes said it all. Justice had just caught up with arrogance. News of the arrest spread like wildfire. "Federal Judge Edward Chen arrested in open court," read headlines across the country. Social media erupted. Some cheered, others were shocked, but no one could ignore the viral video that now showed a once powerful judge being dragged away in disgrace. As more details emerged, the truth became even more disturbing. Investigators revealed that Chen had used his position to influence case outcomes for political allies and had even accepted bribes disguised as consulting fees from private legal firms. Several past rulings were now under review. People began to question how such corruption could have gone unnoticed for so long. Meanwhile, Pam Bondi addressed the public. In a short but powerful statement outside the courthouse, she said, "This isn't about me. This is about every American who believes in fairness, in justice, and in accountability. No one is above the law, not even a judge in a robe." Her calm dignity stood in stark contrast to Chen's dramatic fall, and many praised her for not retaliating during the insult. In fact, her silence in that moment spoke louder than any words. The arrest also sparked a renewed push for judicial accountability across the country. Lawmakers began proposing new oversight measures. Ethics boards called for transparency in judicial conduct. And for the first time in years, people were actually watching courtrooms again, not out of fear, but out of hope. Judge Edward Chen, once feared and revered, now faces a long legal battle of his own. From the other side of the bench, if convicted, he could serve up to 20 years in federal prison. And Pam Bondi? She continues her work advocating for justice, not with anger but with principle. And just like that, the man who once ruled the courtroom with arrogance now stands on the other side, powerless and exposed. Judge Edward Chen thought his robe made him untouchable, but justice doesn't wear a robe. It carries a mirror. Pam Bondi didn't need to fight back. Truth did it for her. This wasn't just one man's fall. It was a message to every corrupt figure in power. The law never sleeps, and the people are watching. So the next time someone misuses power, remember, justice might be slow, but when it arrives, it hits hard.